Welcome to my live today on YouTube. Today is, let me make sure the volume is high enough. Today is Wednesday, the 24th of September, and it is 6 o'clock p.m. UK time. And for those who don't know me, I'm a therapist and coach, and I use my free time to come here, both on YouTube and TikTok, to give some suggestions, recommendations, and discuss anything to do with mental health, therapy, psychology, human behaviors, mindset, mindfulness, all of those things. And I will stay maybe 1 or 2 hours, depending on how many people are there asking me questions. So the way that I start my lives, and all my live streams stay on my channel to be watched again and replayed. So if you interact with me and ask me anything, you can always replay that. I always start those lives with me reading and commenting on my own post that I put out on the day. And hopefully by the end of it, some of you would have been inspired to talk to me and ask me anything you would like to ask me about your life, your problems, your challenges. So let's get started. The first post that I put out today goes like this. The world is full of noise. Don't mistake opinions for valuable information. So what it means is that we are used and programmed and conditioned to react. We react to people, to what we see, to what we read, to what comes up on our feeds, but also to the things that we think and feel. We're just machines that are programmed to react. And what we need to realize is that when it comes to social media, for instance, the way it's designed is to essentially milk our reactions. Everything online is designed to get us to react to it, so that we can like it or dislike it, we can put a comment, we can get involved into the discussion. And the more we do this, the more we're giving away our attention. And this is precisely what they want. They want our attention so that we can have more views and then we can sell their stuff or whatever that we do with our data. And so this is very important to realize. I see so many people on Facebook, for instance, who are still being clickbaited and hooked by silly stuff. And it's so obvious. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and it's everywhere. So it's very important to realize that not only on one hand, all of those social media posts are specifically designed to get us into that state. But it's not just that. Also, people in general, the way we interact with one another is very, very similar. We get into that sort of habit of reacting not only to others, but also to get people to react. It has become some sort of normality. And we forget that we can connect without the reactions, without the outrage, without the provocation, without the disagreement, without the verbal fights, without any other thing. That's something to think about. Next, second post. Teaching children that we will go to hell if they don't follow the dogmas of your religion is psychological abuse. So now we're talking about a religion. So I don't have a problem with religions. I'm not on a crusade of anti-religions or political stuff. However, it's very important to talk about this because it's such a big part of so many people's lives in this society. And so my point here is that a lot of people who are using religion to control, manipulate, and get people to be obedient, for me, this is very, very toxic because it's a literal psychological abuse as far as kids are concerned. And it's not just kids, it's kids who become adults. And so I believe that so many of us, either directly or indirectly, we suffer from mental and emotional problems because of religion, because of the way too many people are misusing religion. So there are some good people who know how to use religion to teach good things, love, forgiveness, compassion, all of those things. But there are also a lot of people who teach it to control and manipulate people through fear, through emotional blackmail, through gaslighting. And so I'm going to take the Bible as an example. Mainly for the fact that we live in a Western world, and this is everywhere on the news, when you look at the state of America, for instance. And they're using it precisely for that. If you think about the three pillars of the Christianity, number one, you are born a sinner. No matter what happens, you are born a sinner. You are rubbish. You are inferior. You are bad. So that is already a belief that is so toxic to any one of us. We believe that there's something wrong about me. Number two, you need a savior. So what does that mean? It means that we can't do it on our own. So that teaches us learned helplessness. And that teaches us that we're not enough. Not only I'm bad, I have a lot of horrible things that I should be ashamed about and live with all my life with, but also I need a savior because I can't deal with that on my own. So basically they're treating the people like kids as opposed to like adults that they can trust. And finally, if you don't get a savior, if you don't find your savior, if you don't allow savior in your life to address your sins, you're going to end up in hell. So now, fear, anxiety, obsession, paranoia, and not enough people talk about it, but I see how so many people may suffer from OCD because of religions. And so it's not just that, but I can see that because there are always people who will come up on my lives at some point telling me, Jesus loves you, Jesus loves you, Jesus loves you. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I love Jesus as well. But why are you telling me that? I don't know you. Where does that come from? I was not even talking about it. They're obsessed with that. And that's, to me, the way that I see it is that many people would actually use love bombing, Jesus loves you, as their way to deal with the obsession that they have. So it's the compulsion to their obsession. Jesus loves you is the compulsion, the obsession is the fear of burning in hell for eternity. Those sort of things. And so teaching kids that they're going to hell, think about it, it's a horrible, gruesome, traumatic thing to teach them. So something to be aware of. We can have a good relationship with God without needing to live in a state of fear and pressure and guilt and shame all the time. Sadly, many people are like that because their community, their preachers, their ministers are using religions to make them feel like that so that they can control and manipulate them. Now, next post, the third post that I will put out sometime in an hour on TikTok goes like this. Healthy anger protects your boundaries. Unhealthy anger is healthy anger having been repressed for too long and coming out at the wrong time and for the wrong reasons. So now this is about emotional intelligence and realizing that all of our emotions, they exist for a reason. They have a job, they have a function, they're there to tell us something about ourselves and our past, and they are vital to our human experience. So we want to learn how to have a good relationship with all of our emotions, including anger. There is such thing as healthy anger. And so what is healthy anger is when we are showing someone, don't step on my shoes, don't cross my boundaries. And it's a very clear signal so that people can understand. There's nothing wrong about it, as long as it's not over the top. However, sometimes it is over the top. And that's unhealthy anger. And how does that happen? It happens because we are repressing the healthy anger. And emotions are energies. And so if we don't process them, they're not going anywhere. They're going to stay lingering somewhere in our body, waiting for a chance to come out. And this is what happens. As we are repressing our healthy anger every day, eventually it accumulates. And like a pressure cooker, at some point, we have so much of it, we can't hold it anymore, and it comes out at the wrong time, for the wrong reasons, and it's all over the place, and it's over the top. And this is because we have tried to ignore and control, and we can't control emotions, but we have tried, and that has created unhealthy anger. And so what we want to do is to learn how to have, again, an understanding of our emotions and learn how to change how we are dealing with them. But we want to find a way to learn how to express them. And of course, if we have a habit of exploding with rage, what it means is that we have reinforced bad habits of emotions over time. So I'm not advising people to succumb to the impulses all the time, because otherwise that would create problems. Right? But what we can do is to learn how to find a way to let go of the energy in that moment, and then learn how to address the triggers. All those subconscious systems that we put into place that has created the situation. the rage is no more no less than unhealthy anger that has been repeated over time, and it has become a skill. We have become very good at being angry and for nothing, and feeling frustrated all the time for tiny little things. And we all understand this because we all have been at least once in our life through a phase where everything is annoying us, where we are very irritable, where we get easily stressed out, we're overwhelmed by things. And so all of those things are habits that we don't realize we reinforced over time because no one has taught us, and that's why I'm here. So that was the free post that I've put and that I will put tonight on TikTok. I'm now going to read the comment and see if there's any questions, anything you would like to discuss with me, and I will do my best to give you some actionable advice, some things that are useful. I don't want to just talk for the sake of talking. It's really about me trying my best to give you something valuable and useful. Okay, so we have all the words are taken. Hello, how are you, Didi? I'm very well indeed. How about you? All the words are taken. Kadze, hello, Kadze. Benjamin, hello, brother. Good to see you live. Thank you, Benjamin. Nice to have you here as well. Kadze, Gott segne dich. I don't know what it means. Let's see if there's a translation option. It sounds like German. There's no translator, so I don't know what it means. I'm sorry. Would you mind translating it yourself so that I can understand what you want to tell me? All the words are taken. Can you speak on black and white thinking? Okay, black and white thinking. It's a very, very, very good topic. Okay, so the reason why we suffer in this world, one of the main reasons, is because we think in black and white. It's this or that, it's right or wrong, it's true or false, or false, it's good or bad. You are either righteous or sinners, sort of things. And we all do this, everyone, because we live in society that teaches us that this is how we should think and communicate, and it's so wrong because there's so much more than black and white. And it's not only shades of grey, but different dimensions, it's colors. Right. And so black and white thinking is us reacting and basically over-generalizing everything. So typically you see it on social media, all men are like that, all women are like that, all immigrants, foreigners are like that, all racists are like that, we are just putting everyone in the same bag, black or white, right or wrong, my friends or my foes. That's it. And we don't realize that there's so much more subtleties and depth and layers with everything and anyone. So what I want to do is to learn how to expand our perspective and do something called dialectical thinking. So dialectical thinking is just something that we use in psychology for people with borderline personality disorder, for instance, who experience things in black and white. It's all this or that. Because I have borderline myself, we can't, when we are in certain state, we can't comprehend that two opposite truths can coexist at the same time. And so for the conversation of borderline, the example that I can give you is that we may feel infatuated by someone. I love that person. That person is amazing. That person is the best person I have ever come across in my life. I'm so lucky. And the next moment, I'm going to think, but that person has done or said something. Now I hate them. Now they're everything that I abhor. I must punish them, destroy them, or maybe spread some gossips and destroy their reputation, or whatever that may be. And now, suddenly, the person that we love the most is the person that we hate the most because we think in black and white. And the black and white is born from a need to survive. When we're in a survival mode, we don't have the luxury to access our rational, logical mind, which is accessing data and being able to see the bigger picture. It's got to be instant. Is it dangerous or is it safe? Are they good for me or are they bad? And so one of the things that I would teach people who have borderline personality disorder, for instance, would be that person has hurt your feelings. It's true. But also, that person does love you and does care about you. Also true. And those two truths can coexist at the same time. So now, this is something that takes time for a borderline person to accept, to let in. But this is the sort of thing that we do to move from the black and white thinking to a more broader perspective of events and situations. So this is for the psychological part of it. Now, we all do this in our day-to-day routine. Maybe not to that extreme, but we, indeed, as I was saying just before, we put everything in the same bag, we overgeneralize, we put labels on everything, and it's this or that. If you don't agree with me, then it means you disagree with me and you're bad. Instead of realizing, maybe we can have a conversation and realize that it doesn't mean that the person is bad. It means that they said something that I disagree with. And maybe we can find a way to shift the angles from which we're looking at that thing so that we can eventually perhaps even agree on that thing. But we all do this. And so black and white thinking is reactive, is born from a survival dynamic, as opposed to an intelligent dynamic where we're going to, okay, I'm calm, at peace, no rush, no problem. Let's put all the data, all the information on the table, and now think about it and see and gauge and be open-minded and talk and analyze all those things, as opposed to reacting. But the black and white thinking also exists because we have emotional, subconscious attachment to everything. And so the reason why we react and we stay into that survival, defensive mode, black and white, right or wrong, is because we feel that we have to protect ourselves. And so one of the way, so many things can be said about the black and white thinking, but one of the way we can expand our perspective of the world and reality is to realize that as long as we are stressed out, as long as we have anxiety, overwhelm, overthinking, as long as we are in a state of stress, distress, suffering, as long as we have some baggage, it's going to be difficult for us not to think in black and white. Black and white is survival. So that means when we're in survival mode, we don't have access to the intelligent mind, the rational, the logical, the analytical mind, or brain. We're just reacting emotionally. And this is why, now it's leading to the conspiracy theory, but this is why governments, people at the top, do what they do. They want people to stay on a state of stress and alert and confusion and anger and discomfort, so that we can easily manipulate their emotions and get them to focus on the wrong thing, so that we can keep on controlling people and being unpunished for their own crimes. So yeah, again, back to politics. But so yeah, so this is what I'd say about black and white thinking. If you want to ask me something specific about it, I'm more than happy to expand on it. But this is pretty much the big lines. The first thought that I have when you ask me about black and white thinking. Does it, do you find this interesting? Other words are taken? Can you see this happening? And it's everyone, it's not just them, us as well. This is the most important aspect of what I do, is to realize that whatever we see in others also exists in us. Otherwise, we would not be able to recognize it. And so we want to work both on how we perceive others and how we perceive ourselves. Benjamin Kibler. I talked to my mother and actually showed her the video of your advice. Okay. Her first reaction was very good. She thought it was very nice, fantastic. I have had a few talks with her. She's still struggling, but has improved. Okay, fantastic. So I'm going to be honest with you. I've forgotten about our discussion, but I'm sure that it will come back as we go through the thread today. But I'm glad that something that we discussed and talked about has helped you and your mum. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much. All the words are taken. Message retracted. Lazy guitarist. Good to see you live. Thank you so much. Thank you. Angela. Hi, Didi. Do you think it's a good idea to tell a man about your narcissistic family and why you don't have a relationship with them on a first date? It's up to you. There's no must or mustn't. It's down to how you feel about it. If you are going on a first date and you feel that somehow it feels good, I should be, then allow it and see what happens. There's no rules. What matters is not what we do. What matters is how we feel and what we do the next moment. Right? What happens in this moment, what we feel in this moment, what we think in this moment is not that important. No, what we feel is the one thing that is important. You want to feel good. You want to learn how to have a good relationship with your emotions, with your intuition, with your body. And then go one moment at a time, do what your intuition and your body is telling you to do, and then take it one moment at a time and see what happens. And know that they may react to it, or they may find it very good, or they may not care. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you feel good, you express yourself, and then what are we going to do with the next situation? right? If the person reacts badly to it, it's a good thing. It means that it was a red flag for you to spot from the beginning. So now you can swipe that guy and go on another date with someone else. Just listen to how you feel. I believe that if we have had a narcissistic family, it's something that is very important to us. And when it comes to relationship, it is indeed something that I can see talked about as a normality, because we don't want to attract more of the same, right? So now, if you talk about it, you are making it clear. This happened to me. I'm not going to allow this to happen again. What do you think of this? What is your position on that? So that it will give you a better idea of the person that you are dating, perhaps. But again, listen to your body. There's no right or wrong. And remind yourself that whatever you do, whatever you say, is never a bad thing. It's either going to show you something that you needed to see, or it's going to teach you something so that you can be better the next time. Benjamin Kibler. She's going to try antidepressant medication again. She stopped recently. So maybe a combination of this and helping her the best I can and getting her a good therapist will make a change happen. I remember now. So I remember our conversation. Okay, I get it. Okay, good. Benjamin, she's very good at making plans and thinking ideas she can do. It's just the execution that is hard. I'm trying to help her get out of her head more and just focus on doing. She meditates with videos. Fantastic. So you're onto something. Fantastic. Great news. Thank you so much. Yes, I remember we were talking about how to help someone close to you, and I was telling you at the start, we cannot always, but in your case, you are doing something that seems to be working. So good on you. Good on you. Benjamin, but the meditation doesn't help in long term, just for 20 minutes. So meditation is not something that helps you like that. It's a practice, it's a hygiene of life. It's something that is part of a lifestyle. It's something that you do because you know that over time it will help you. It's like brushing your teeth. It's just something that you do every day, and when you learn how to enjoy it, eventually over a long period of time you learn how to understand it better, and you try different type of meditations, and your life starts to change. You start to realize, you know what, I'm feeling a bit wrong. I know I haven't meditated yet. Let's go back to there. But also, maybe the type of meditation that your mom is doing is only working for a short amount of time, and she may want to try something else. Meditation is not a thing. It's not something that is universal. We're all very different, and there's something different for every single individual. But we have some systems that will work better for us, and I'm talking about meditation protocols than others. And so it's not about I do something, does it work? Yes or no? It's I'm doing something because it feels good, and as I am realizing that it's something that I want to enjoy more and more every day in my life, now I'm going to explore more of this, and this is how we expand the things that we do for our well-being within our lifestyle. But don't expect things that are going to show you that it works or not. Healing is not about going from a place of pain to a place of non-pain. Healing is about going on that journey. That's it. And things will happen in different level of amplitude. The success is going to be different. It's going to happen at a different time. For some people, it can be a lot at the beginning. It can be bad again. For some people, it can be gradual and linear. It depends. Everyone is different. So we don't have to have expectations. The most important aspect of healing is not the result. It's the mindset. I want to heal. I will keep looking for it. I will keep trying my best. I will keep opening my mind. I will keep doing all those things because I want it, because I deserve it, because I'm ready for it, because there's nothing else that matters more to me than to change and get better. That's what matters. This is what healing is about. It's your general attitude about wanting to get better. And so that can take a long time. That can take a very short time. That can happen in a lot of contrasting ways, and it's all okay as long as we have that mindset, that hope, that willpower to want to change and to get better. This is what healing is about. So don't have expectations. Just do your best, and your best is always good enough. So Benjamin, I've suggested to her videos and stuff like this. I will try to help her with the information I know and tell her about it. It's just about getting her to try and move. She does not take action. So it's fine. So the actions can be just that. Maybe, so this is the thing. Why does she not take action from your perspective? Because you don't see her doing it, but you don't know. Maybe inside of her is the best that she can do. That's all that she's ready for, and it's enough. We don't want to force people. We don't want to pressurize people. We can't force. We cannot force healing. We cannot force happiness. We cannot force any good things in. What we want to do is to allow for things to unfold and happen when people are ready, one baby step at a time, at their own pace, and comfort. Right? It's true. We realize that we like them to get better faster. But as long as we are there for them, be patient. You know, you may not see things, but inside, she may be going through a lot of turmoil and questioning and thinking and changes that are invisible. Benjamin, it's a lot of thinking and planning. Yes, it is. Benjamin, how can we execute the things we think about when we are so used to doing in the thing that destroy us? We allow for things to happen. Again, it's a process. So it depends. Every single person is different. So I can't answer that question like that. So if you give me a specific example, we can use that example and I can show you how to do this. But everything is a process. And so as long as you do your best to expand your mind and to give people some space to breathe and to do the thing, there is movement, there is change happening all the time. We literally change all the time. Everything in the universe is changing all the time. This is one of the most basic laws of the universe. Everything changes, in good or bad, in better or worse. Things are just changing because nothing is fixed, nothing is stagnant. The whole point of the universe is to expand, and it expands through changes that are either good or bad. Good or bad comes from the perspective we're looking at it. But it's all about expansion. And so even when we are getting worse, it's part of our human experience, and it's part of the process itself as well. And we can only appreciate it once we have healed, and we're looking back with hindsight, and we realize, I had to go through that thing to understand what I know now. But I understand that in the moment it sucks, and it feels as if nothing is happening, but everything is always changing. You are changing, I'm changing, your mom is changing, the whole world is changing, and it's happening every macro millisecond, nanoseconds, and it's always going to be. So change is not a problem. It's about knowing what to do, but also knowing when to allow things to happen, knowing when to surrender. Trust the universe to look after you and to look after your mom. As long as you do your best, as long as you're focused, you have an intent of wanting to do that, things will always get better and better. Even if you go through ups and downs, as you zoom out, you realize that you're going through ups and downs, but in the better direction overall. Doku, can you talk about overeating? It's a big, big topic. So I can talk briefly about it, but unless you ask me a specific question, I'm just going to give you something general, okay? Overeating, I'm going to give you something very practical. One of the reasons many of us overeat, and I'm not talking about people who have some belief that are to do with using food as a coping mechanism. I'm just talking about overeating, because that's all that you're saying. The word overeating, very often we do it just out of bad habits because we don't understand how our body functions. And so the one thing we want to realize is that it takes 20 minutes for the belly to tell the brain that it's full. And so if we don't know that, we just keep on eating. And by the time we're full, it's too late. We've been full for 20 minutes already, but we kept eating. So it takes 20 minutes for the belly to tell the brain that it's full. But also, the other thing is that we are programmed, used to eat until we are full. So that's the problem. We want to eat until we are full because we think, I must feed myself, I must fill up that belly. But we are full way before we have finished, way before we feel that we are full. And so how do we change that? What we can do is to learn how to eat mindfully. So what it means is that instead of scoffing food down our throat until we're full, we're going to eat not to be full, but we're going to eat to be satisfied. So we want to be mindful, we want to eat slowly, we want to put down our fork or chopsticks or whatever. Every time we have a mouthful, we put it down, and we focus on eating, the flavor, the texture going down, the smell, we take our time to really switch on all of our senses to make it a ritual, an experience, a ceremony, a party. I'm eating food. I can see the food. You can even think about the provenance of the food. It's a practice of gratitude and mindfulness. Think about the food that you have in your plate. It has traveled such a long way. It first grew in some fields, in some trees, and then some farmers get those things out of the ground or out of the trees, and then they put it in some trucks, they took it somewhere, and they processed it, and they changed it, and it ended up in some factories or some warehouses, and then someone bought them, and then he brought it to your supermarket, and then someone bought it to prepare this for you, or you bought it yourself and you prepared it. You spend a lot of time washing it, slicing it, cooking it. You put some herbs, you know how to deal with that. So it's a whole process. So the food, before it ends up in your belly, has had a whole adventure. It's like the Lords of the Rings. It's like the hobbits going through their own journey, but it's the food. So be aware of that and realize, this is amazing. So you don't think about food just like pleasure, instant gratification, fuel, or whatever it is. It's something to be celebrated, to be respected, to be cherished. So that helps you slow down and realize what it is. And then so next, when you eat it, be mindful. Smell it, look at it, appreciate each mouthful, allow it to go down, and then learn how to be satisfied, learn how to enjoy eating, learn how to savor, how to appreciate it. So now it's not something that you do just out of habit, mindlessly. You are being mindful. You are really making the most out of it. And so as you do that, focus on being satisfied. You take your time. And if you focus on being satisfied with everything that we just talked about, at some point, you think, that's enough. I'm good. I don't need any more. You're learning how to become better at it over time. It's a skill. But this is what we want to do. Remember that your stomach takes 20 minutes to tell the brain that it's full, and that we eat to be full. So the solution to this, the formula is very simple. Learn how to eat mindfully, and don't eat to be full. Eat to be satisfied with the actual process of the whole of it. And that will teach you a different relationship with food. And when you do this over time, you can no longer overeat. If you have some food left on your plate, put it in a Tupperware, in a box, leave it for later. You don't have to finish your plate. There's that as well. Very often we do this. We have that belief, I had it, I have to finish my food, otherwise I'm a bad boy. Some people, they are being told over their kids, if you don't finish your food, some kids in some poor parts of the world will die of starvation. And now we feel that it's because of us. And we create some sort of negative subconscious belief about it, and we feel guilt and shame if we don't finish our plate, just because of a harmless sentence that our parents may have said to us when we were younger. But that's enough for us to create belief. And so we want to really realize that all of those things add up. You don't have to finish your plate. You can put it in a box. You can have it for later. You can even throw it away. My belief is that you can never waste food, because my parents struggled when they were younger, with poverty, my mum a lot. And so I always put a point of honor to finish every single thing in my plate, because otherwise I'm a bad person. I'm not respecting the food. I wouldn't respect the past of my parents struggling with money and scarcity. And because of that, I finish everything. I cooked too much to start with, and I finished everything. And for a long time now, I was eating too much, like so many of us in the Western world. And so there you go, overeating for you. This doesn't address people who are addicted to food. It is a thing. People who are obese or overweight and can't shift their weight. This is a whole different conversation, and I can also talk about this if any of you want to. No one chooses to be overweight. No one chooses to be obese. This is very important. People don't realize that people who are into situations is because of some emotional attachment, trauma, coping mechanism that they have put into place, and it's preventing them to do the things that everyone thinks they should be doing, and that seems so easy from the outside. have a diet, go to the gym, don't be so lazy, you know, those sort of things. And it's never because of that. It's always because of some emotional wounds and baggage that we have. But this is a different conversation. I only answered overeating. So I hope it helps. What do you think about it, Duku? Does it? Just so you know, I take my time to address things, so I may be behind. If you ask me anything, I will get back to you. This is live. It's 35 minutes past 6, so I'm not ignoring anyone. We've got someone talking Japanese to me. I'm not Japanese, but I'm going to give you the benefit of doubt and take it as a compliment. And the name is Gi Besiderat Passem Preparet Bellum, some Latin word, I assume. Angela, thank you for your advice, Didi. Thank you so much, Angela. You're welcome. Ellie, my brother said to me that we'll never be able to care for myself, that I've become too selfish and self-absorbed because of therapy, and my decisions are wrong. I just listened and left. How could I react in the future? Nothing he said is true in my opinion, and I do not want to defend or discuss it with him, but I would love to show that I do not agree with him. Any ideas? Yes, just stop talking to him. You don't have to talk to your brother. You don't have to speak to him or justify or explain or convince him of anything. Some people are just different. So he doesn't have that understanding that you have about mental health, and it's his loss, it's his problem, it's his thing to deal with. If you try to convince him, it means that you believe that there's a part of you that believes that what he says is true, and you are basically feeding him power. The best thing to do is to disengage. Stop giving him power. Ignorance. Dismiss him. You think what you think. Fair enough, I tried, it doesn't work. I don't care what you think anymore. You don't have to talk about these things with your brother. You don't even need to speak to him if you have a bad relationship with him. Right? You know who you are doing your own thing, and this is the thing. When it comes to family, we don't realize that for some of us, we have problems with our siblings as well as our parents. And so you may have had some need for therapy because of your brother, not just your parents. Sometime in a family, some siblings have it better than other siblings. Some are lucky, they are favoritized by their parents, and some others are the black sheep. And so, if that's the case, it would make sense that your brother doesn't want to understand. Or maybe your brother is also highly traumatized by what have happened to you guys in childhood, and that's his way to cope with it. Maybe he doesn't understand anything about psychology, and he thinks that the best way to deal with life is to be strong and ignore and forget and move on. And sadly, this never works. This only makes things worse. But maybe it's the only way he knows at this point in time how to deal with his own trauma. So the best thing to do is to look after yourself first. And at some point, if and when you have worked on yourself long and well enough, you may be able to get back to him and maybe inspire him, guide him, show him, help him, or maybe not. And it's also okay. But self first is what you want to focus on. You seem to have some baggage. Address your baggage. You come first. It is your life. And if people are disagreeing with you, if they're not going to help you, at least don't allow them to hold you back. Okay, Ellie? Tia. Hello, Tia. Benjamin, I understand. Thank you for your advice. You always have a very nice way of thinking about it. Thank you so much. I get caught in frustration, wondering why she is not doing this or that. I need to be more understanding. Yes. It's very human. It's very normal what you are doing, what you're going through. We want to change people to help them. But remember, we can't change people. No one can change anyone any more than anyone can't change you. We change when we're ready to change. We can influence, guide, show them how we do things. In the same way, we can be influenced by people and inspired by them. That will help us go into that direction. But no one can force us to heal. When we force things, we are creating obedience. We are creating fear. We are creating control. It's not healing. It's not growth. It's not positive. It seems good from the outside, but it's not a good way to implement something that will be positive in the long term. Thank you for the little heart, by the way. So yes, Benjamin, she is clearly trying. That's just something that is happening. She only knows. Yes, she's dealing with her own things in her own way, and so let her. Thank you. Geezer, you talk a lot with no real context. Are you a troll? If you're going to troll me, we're not going to be friends, right? I'm here to create a safe space for people to talk about their mental health. So there's a context to everything. If you want, if you are genuine about talking with me about any of those things, I would love to do this. But if you're going to troll me, we're not going to be friends, okay? I don't take things personally, but I need to create a safe space for everyone else. And I need to show them that this is how we simply set boundaries whenever we're meeting people who are trying to basically just play with us or somehow get us to react because it satisfies their own frustrations. Angela, many tarot readers told me that I'm going to meet my soulmate this year. Should I believe them, Didi? I don't know. I don't know. So tarot, just like anything, is just a thing. I believe in everything. I believe in everything. I believe that everything has some people in the world who can do magic with it. I believe that there's at least one person in the world that can read my future in a cup of coffee. But I don't believe that most people can. So this is the thing. I believe that a lot of people do it for all sorts of different reasons. They need to find out about their own understanding of reality and connection with the magic and the divine, and it's okay. I appreciate that. I do this as well. But being able to appreciate that some things are possible doesn't mean that everyone knows about it, right? And so, does your person knows about tarot, and can they tell you something related to your future? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. So the best thing to do is for you to listen to intuition, take it one moment at a time, see what happens. Take it with a pinch of salt. Most importantly, don't believe blindly whatever someone tells you. Always question it by asking your own intuition. How do I feel about it? Is there some truth? Is there something about it that I believe is beneficial and I can surrender in that direction or not? And then learn. Whatever you go through is always a lesson anyway. So you can never go wrong with that sort of mindset. So yes, many tarot readers, but there's also a psychological element to it. If I'm going to be the devil's advocate, if we really want something to happen, our mind is going to be biased, and is going to see and seek anything that backs up our emotional attachment to that thing. So our belief, our expectations, our projections. So there's a bit of psychology, a bit of spiritual. There's no ultimate right or wrong. Every case and every situation and every moment is different. And so just take it one moment at a time, listen to your intuition and see what happens, right? And I wish you all the best with meeting your soulmate. Geezer, so you are a troll. Okay, I'm going to block you then, I'm afraid. Hide user on this channel. So guys, anyone from that guy called Geezer, just ignore him. We're not going to read any more comments because it's not going to serve us and it's not going to serve him either. And so hide user on this channel, bang. That's it. So that means I think that's it. Let's move on. Angela, thank you for making these live videos. Didi, your advice is very good. Thank you so much, Angela. Morgan, hail Odin. Okay. Fair enough. I have no problem with Odin. Be stronger, enter Valhalla. I won't be entering Valhalla because Valhalla is about fighters and warriors, and I'm not a warrior. But you know what? If you want to go to Valhalla, knock your socks out. I support you doing whatever feels right for you. Pumpkin Puff. Hi Didi, how are you doing today? I'm very well, thank you so much. How about you? Gabriel, hello, happy Wednesday. If you put some distance between yourself and some of your friends or family, how do you gracefully re-engage with being assertive of your new boundaries? Let me try to understand that question. If you put some distance between you and your friends and family, which is a good thing, because we do things for a reason. So for you, I'm sure that there's a reason why you do this. But then you ask me, how do you gracefully re-engage while being assertive of your new boundaries? Okay, I understand. How do you reconnect with them, with your new boundaries? Simple. Tell them, and then apply. So you need to understand what a boundary is. Very often, people have the wrong idea. That is why it doesn't work. People believe that boundaries means, I don't like this. Stop doing this. But the truth is that if we just say that and we don't take any action on that, People are just going to keep doing what we've been doing all along. The reason you set a boundary is because they took advantage of you. It's because they didn't respect you. They didn't listen to you. So that's the normal dynamic in place. And so they will just keep being how they are. And so boundaries doesn't mean I don't like it. If you just say that, they will keep pushing, and they will eventually gain back the control that they always had over you. Boundaries means I don't like this, and if you keep doing this, I will do that. This is what a boundary means. And so people don't learn from you telling them what you don't like. They learn from you taking the actions that you tell them you will take if they don't change. Right? Tell them, I don't like the way you speak to me. I don't like those jokes. I don't like how you look down on me. If you do it again, I'm not going to speak to you for a week. If you do it again, I'm going to block you on social media. If you do it again, we're not going to be friends. Just like I've done with that guy, Geezer, who was just trolling. I said to him, if you do that, we're not going to be friends. He did it again. Bang. Gone. Simple. I don't even need to think about it. He's out of my life, out of my head, back to a place of clarity. For me, it's very easy. If it was my friends or my family, I would give them a chance. I told you, now I'm going to go and do my stuff, and I don't speak to you for a week. Or whatever, a day, or for whatever works for you. But then take the action, apply, show them that you mean business. And then we will learn, we think, oh, they really mean that. And so we're going to be more careful next time. Or they may not. And if they're not, it means, you know what, I wish you all the best with your life, but I don't think that we're ready at this point in time to spend time together because you don't get me, you don't see me, you don't respect my feelings. And it's very important for me that people respect how I feel. Right? Does it help, Gabriel? Crazy Catty. Love your laughter. Thank you so much. Eddie, wow, thank you. That was very on point, and thank you for empowering me and my decision to not engage. Fantastic. Thank you, Eddie. All the words are taken. This live community is awesome. Thank you. Great questions and solid advice in a safe space. Thank you. Thank you. This is what I'm trying to do, so I'm glad when it's happening. Thank you very much. I'm glad you appreciate it. Crazy Kitty, well said. Thank you. Geezer was hidden. Yes, I did it. So let's forget about him. Crazy Kitty. Yes, just cancel him. Pumpkin Puff, I really enjoyed your long-form video that you uploaded on last Friday, by the way. Fantastic, thank you. So yes, I have started to resume my production of long-form video on YouTube. So the first one in 3 years was last Friday. The second one is the next Friday. So every Friday, 3 o'clock, is going to be a new long-form video from me. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but I was busy with other priorities, and I had to learn how to create a system to make it easy for me. So now I do. Ignore all my old long-form videos. They're very cringy. It was like 3.5 years ago. I'm going to get rid of them at some point. And please, if you enjoy my shorts or my lives, have a look at them, the long-form ones, and see if you like it, and let me know. If you have any questions, anything that you'd like me to talk about, do suggest me some topics, either now or in the comment sections in any of my video, and I will consider which ones I'm aligned with, and I can do some videos for you guys. Talk about anything to do with psychology, spirituality, therapy, mindfulness. But yes, thank you, Pumpkin Puff. I'm really going to focus more on pushing my YouTube channel the rest of this year and the next year. It's time for me now. Roger, message retracted. John Wick. Hello, John Wick. Gabriel, thank you so much for your advice. Yes, it helps greatly. I will focus on standing my ground. Fantastic, thank you. Some people-pleasing aspects of me sometimes makes it hard to do this. Of course. So we can talk about this. People-pleasing is a trauma response. We don't realize that so many of us are undiagnosed, but we all have suffered from some level of trauma, bad enough so that it affects our personality and our behavior and the way we interact with people. And so people-pleasing is one of them. When we are people-pleasing, we do this for either of two reasons. Either because we've been hurt when we were a child, and pleasing people was the only way we knew how to make it less painful. So we know that on a survival mode, we can fight, flight, or freeze. People-pleasing is phone, number 4. We are going along with the abuser so to limit the damage. So that's one. The other reason, if we haven't been through some major traumatic event, would be through a lot of little trauma over time that can come from neglect. And so what it means is that if we don't feel unconditionally loved and supported by our parents all the time or our caregivers, then as a child, we don't feel safe. That person that is supposed to look after me, the love is conditional, or maybe they're not always there, they're at work, they're not here. So I need to find a way to be seen, to be accepted, to be loved, so that I can be safe and looked after by them. And so now people pleasing exists to get us to feel seen and to feel safe. And we forget about it and we go through our adult life, we have that system in place, and we end up pleasing everyone, not because we want them to be happy. We're not being kind because we want to be kind. We're being kind because we want to be safe. So that's the difference. Many of us, we people please and we hate this, we don't like it, but we just don't feel safe. We do this to regulate our own nervous system. It is a stress regulator. It's something that we have reinforced over time, and we've forgotten about it. And it's really problematic because we're always putting everyone ahead of us. And because of that, we're putting ourselves after everyone else. So we're telling ourselves more and more so every time we do this, I am not enough, I don't deserve this, I'm rubbish, I don't deserve the good things in life. I come after everyone. Their happiness is more important than mine. And as we do this, we're creating more problems for ourselves. But, and also for the fact that you're talking about your friends or families, it is it. If you have people pleasing, it's because of some level of trauma. And that may be, well, because of your friends and families. And so now it's even harder because the very dynamic that you have with them was to always please them. And so setting boundaries is going to be super hard. You suffer precisely because they didn't respect you, your boundaries. They didn't even allow you to understand the concept of boundaries. And so it's going to be terribly difficult, challenging for anyone in that position, and that's many of us, to set boundaries with our family or our old friends, because they are the ones who created that situation in the first place. But it's possible. Pumpkin Puff. I need some advice on how to work, thank you for the little hearts, on how to work on my BPD outburst. Okay, let's talk about this. I let my emotions pile until I explode, and I feel like I'm justified for my feelings, but I feel like I lose all control. So yes, everything you said is true. In the moment, you lose control. The truth is that it's not that you lose control. We don't really control anything anyway. You react in a way that your mind has believed all your life is how you should react in order to stay safe. Everything that you do, everything that we all do, whether we have conditions or not, whether we have borderline personality disorder or not, is systems that we have created originally to be seen, to feel safe, and they have gone out of control. The systems have gone out of whack, they have developed in all of those problems that we have now, because we didn't upgrade those systems back then. And so everything that we do, by virtue of repetition, becomes bigger, better. And so borderline is that. Why do you react? Why do you get angry? Because back then, anger was the system that you knew would get you to say something, to do something, to maybe get a better outcome out of that situation. And the splitting that I was talking about at the beginning of that live, so you can replay the video. I leave all of my lives on my bio. But the splitting that you go through is the black and white thinking that I was talking about at the start of the live today. And so why do you have black and white thinking? Because when you are going into this episode, in those moments, you are feeling unsafe again. You are back into the position of the child that you were then. And when we are unsafe, we're operating on a survival mode. And when we're on survival mode, it's got to be black or white. Because we have to survive straight away. Is it a tiger that is going to eat me, or is it a cat that I can pet? Which one is it? Right away, I need to make a decision. And so because we've done this with everything in our life, now it's the same with our relationship with people. In the moment, we don't have access to our intelligence, our rational intelligence. We are reacting emotionally out of protection. and it's got to be good or bad. Do I need to adore that person, or do I have to hate them and destroy them? This is what borderline thinking does. And so when it happens, there's nothing you can do about it. In the moment, you're reacting precisely the way you should be reacting based on the program that you have installed and allowed to reinforce over a lifetime. There's nothing you can do about it. In the moment, the only thing you can do is to walk out, get out of the situation. In the moment, you are not yourself. You are the child. You are emotional. You are blind and you see danger. And that's why you end up doing or saying things that you may regret afterwards. But in the moment, there's nothing you can do about it. So get out of the situation, learn how to do some breathing, learn how to find ways to physically change how you feel, shake, jump, punch your punching bag, but most importantly, move away from the situation. Walk, listen to some music, do some breathing, do some grounding technique, some somatic exercises, whatever it may be, have an ice shower, some things, but change your physiological state. Because in that moment, you are in a state of survival. Your body is in a sympathetic state. Everything is dangerous, everything is bad. So you need to bring yourself back from that state of survival to a place of peace, safety, mental clarity. We can either be sympathetic or parasympathetic. It's one of them. Survival or creation, chill, relax, process, or fight, flight, freeze, fawn, overthink, react. And so first thing you want to do is to learn how to accept that that's it, I am effed. It's happening again. Oh, I've got to get out of that phase. I'm turning into the Hulk. I'm turning from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde. I'm turning into a monster, and there's nothing that I can do about it except moving myself away. After that, now you can start to address your thoughts. Because with borderline personality disorder, it's a personality disorder. So we think about us in that scenario. Who am I? And as we think, who am I? Who are they? And why are we having that situation? We have a narrative that is in place, and it's the thought that we have that makes things worse. So we may think, why did that happen? Because they're bad. Because they always want to hurt me. Because everyone is bad. And now the thoughts that we have are making things worse. So you want to learn how to change the way that you think once you have managed to go back to a place of mental clarity. When you are still agitated, it's not going to be possible. But if you've been breathing, you've been walking, and it's been half an hour, now you can realize that your body is back into a place of peace. Now you can change your thoughts. You can think, okay, now let's challenge my thought. What am I thinking? This happened because he or she said that. And what does that mean? It means that they want to hurt me like everyone else. It's always been like that. Challenge that. Is it true? Is it really true? From a rational perspective, do I have all the evidence that this is solid? It's a truth? No. Is it true that everyone always wants to hurt me? No. Is it true that that person is always horrible to me? No. Change that. Learn about dialectical thinking, and I was talking about it again. Appreciate that you can expand your mind and accept that more than one truth, even if they are opposite, can coexist together. And so again, the same example that I've given is that person has hurt me, but also true, that person loves me and cares about my feelings. Now we're starting to see more. It's not just good or bad. See, it happened, and now you're starting to change how you think. And you do this through therapy. You do this through self introspection work, through meditation, through all sorts of different ways. It's for you to find out what works for you, but you want to realize that when you are in an episode, there's nothing you can do. You've got to move out. You can't control yourself. You have to move yourself out. After and before, however, is when you work. It's when you change the triggers. It's when you address your belief. It's when you find a way to disarm those reactions that keep on coming back every time you are facing the same situation, right? So it's a big conversation. I'm not going to address this now because everyone is different. It's a whole condition to address, right? But I hope that you have some help, and if not, we can talk about it. But I need you to give me some specific example of situations that we can use, okay? If you just ask me, how do I fix my BPD? It's going to be a big topic that is different for every cases. But I can help you specifically if you give me something specific. Okay? But accept that until you have worked on yourself, Whenever you're in those situations, you will get there. And so avoid those situations. Avoid stress. Avoid exposing yourself to overwhelm. Avoid people, conversation, places, time that will get you to feel overwhelmed and stressed out. Right? And so this is where you can do this already. You can address your lifestyle and your environment so that you are minimizing your exposure of stress. Something very important, whatever conditions we have will be exacerbated under stress. And so for everyone, we want to choose ways to upgrade our lifestyle and our environment so there's less stress that will trigger all of those symptoms to do with our conditions. And that's something that you can do now. It's something that you can start to implement gradually. It's going to take time. Go to the gym, eat better, sleep better, get rid of people who are toxic, surround yourself with people who are kind and understanding and patient, who understand your condition. Do therapy as well, do meditation, do all of those things, but also address your lifestyle and your environment. I hope it makes sense. Les Dodis, thank you for your wisdom. You're welcome, Les Dodis. Gabriel, thank you for that explanation. Thank you. Randid Girl, hello. I just realized through couples therapy that I don't consider my feelings when making decisions. Okay. My feelings. Any recommendations to someone trying to consider themselves more? Yes. Learn how to love yourself. Learn how to put yourself first. Learn how to change how you see yourself. The reason why you don't consider your own feelings is because you believe that the person that you are is not like that. You don't deserve this. This is not what you do. So maybe you grew up believing that your position in your family and in life is to care about other people. So you care about their feelings before your own. And so if you believe that, I don't know if that's the case, but if that is so, then that will explain. That will be one of the possibilities as to why you do this. And so change that. See yourself, you're not a carer. Your mission is not to make sure that everyone is happy around you. This is not your job. It's not your responsibility. It's not you. It's not for you to carry on your shoulders 24/7. You can be kind, you can be empathic, you can be compassionate and helpful, but only do it when it feels right, when you're able to do this. Not always, not all the time. So basically learn how to listen to your body and learn how to do things that make you happy, that satisfies you, that brings you joy. Explore that. Go on that journey. What can I create as a routine? What can I do that I haven't done for a long time, that I love doing just for me? And then when you are with people, put yourself first. Ask yourself, that thing that I was going to do automatically for them, do I really want to do this? Or do I want to tell them, you know what, maybe not today, or let me do me first and then I will look after you. Whatever it is, you want to learn how to see yourself as someone that deserves good things in life, someone that is important, someone that matters. You want to know that you matters. You want to tell your inner child that you matter, that she matters. So there's a lot of things you can do, but learn how to listen to your body. Oops. Just a second, please. This is my watch, reminding me that I must put my last video on TikTok now. Just 1 second, please. If I don't do it, I forget. I have a healthy anger ADHD. Exists to protect your boundaries. Unhealthy anger. God, great post. Oops. Okay, I think it's out. Yeah, should be. Okay, sorry about that. So let's come back to where we were. So yes, Randid Girl, does that help? We can talk about it, but I need to know a little bit more about yourself. But essentially, learn how to put yourself first, take actions, and think about you deserving and needing and wanting to give yourself joy and happiness before anyone else. Even if you want to be altruistic, if you want to be a good person, remind yourself that we can only give what we own. And so at the moment you're being nice, but you can do better than that. If you love yourself, you can be kind. And that's much, 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 much better. Nice is just wanting to be good, to stay safe in society, on regards to how we see ourselves, our parents, our community, our religion. Being kind comes from a place of wanting people to feel better. So it's a different energy altogether. Thank you for the little heart. Josiah Lawrence. Hello, Josiah. Why won't therapists ask about how we hurt, betrayed, and were evil, but focus on how we were hurt by others? Let me try to read this again and understand. Why won't therapists ask about how we hurt and feel betrayed and were evil, but focus on how we were hurt by others? I think they do. It depends. Different therapists ask a different thing. So basically, you're telling me that the people that you have seen have never asked you how you hurt. I ask it. Whenever I look after people, I want to understand what they're going through, what experience, what it means to them, what it feels, so that I can have an idea emotionally about what they're going through. Otherwise, I can't deal with them. I do this. People should be doing this. I don't know. I believe that some do. Maybe some don't. But they should. Maybe some therapists are just addressing thinking and talking, and so they don't address emotions as much. And so to me, there are a certain type of therapist, and it's not good for you. You know, maybe those therapists could work for some people who are very highly intellectual and overthinking, and to them, they're speaking the same sort of language. But really, even to them, to be honest with you, people who are overthinking should learn about emotional intelligence. So talking therapy, there's a place and a time for everything, but it's true that generally speaking, talking therapies don't really help because it's all happening here. And it's not addressing the source of the problem, which is emotions, feelings, belief, trauma, which is in the body, not in the head. But I believe that some, like myself, do. Josiah. JT Valentine, what's one thing you think all humans should accept other than death? We should accept life. That's all we should accept. We don't need to think about death. Don't accept death. You don't need to accept death. Death is an experience. It happens when it happens. Thinking about it is pointless. You don't need to accept death. What are you going to do? I don't accept it. I don't want it. You can't. It's going to happen anyway. It's happening. So just focus on your life instead. And then when death happens, it happens. And so be it. And you will find out then how you can deal with that. But we are alive to live our life. And this is the problem with a lot of religions. They traumatize people again with death, with afterlife, with hell and other things. Because of this, sadly, people waste their life worrying about their death instead of enjoying their life. We don't need to worry about death. The fear of it is something that people have created out of the fear of the unknown. But we don't need to know everything. If you think about before you were born, do you remember what happened? Do you know anything about it? No. Does it matter? No. And it's the very same with after you're gone. It does not matter at all. Not in the slightest. But if we think about it now, we're going to believe that it's important and we're going to waste our precious opportunities to enjoy life thinking about death. So yes, we don't need to accept what should we all accept? I know the answer. We should all accept this moment. And now we're back into mindfulness. Learn how to be present. Learn how to be appreciative of right around now. And that's all that you need to accept. And if you can accept this, if you can turn it into a skill, your life is going to be so much more kinder, simpler, better, and healthier. And it's going to allow you to then manifest all the things that you want, all the other things. But you have to be present. So yes, all humans should accept this moment. That's my recommendation. JT Valentine, Josiah, because you need to know how to understand why. Okay. Pumpkin Puff. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I grew up in a yelling household on top of having PTSD now. I 100% act like everything means danger, and it makes me feel so much worse. Yeah. People don't realize that people who are overacting, they're not bad, they're not inferior, they're traumatized. And we react like that because it's the only way we know subconsciously. Like, it's not something that we think. It's something that our body, our mind does to feel safe because we have never felt safe. So that teaches people maybe a bit more empathy and compassion. When people are reacting in any which way, we tend to judge very quickly out of ignorance. And also, again, out of the judgment that religion and society teaches us to have over others. But this is why I'm here now doing this, because I want to teach how to replace judgment with understanding. If you can understand, we don't need to judge anymore. We don't need to judge ourselves. We don't need to judge others. We can start to reconnect and make this world a better place, individually and collectively. So yeah, everything that we do when we have unhealed trauma is designed to regulate our nervous system. Everything. Yelling, anger, fear, lying, trying to control and manipulate others, or to impress them, eating, any sort of addiction, rocking, burning out at work. There are also different ways we learn how to regulate our nervous system because of unhealed trauma and limiting belief. JT Valentine, yin and yang. Okay, yep, big topic that I love talking about, and we can always bring everything back to. Cap'n Crunch, he is a scientist. Who is a scientist? Question mark. Are you talking about me at the third person? I am not a scientist. I am not a professor. I'm not a doctor. I am a therapist. I'm here to share what I know from my perspective as a human being and a therapist who looks after people for mental health all day long, how we can enhance any aspect of our life from those places. That's why I'm here. Angela, thank you for your time and advice, Didi. Thank you so much, Angela. JT Valentine, how much longer will you be streaming? Up till 8 o'clock maximum, right? So I plan to do between 6 and 8 every day. So if you can come back, if you need to go, make sure that you come back before 8. Otherwise, I'll be back Friday. Every Wednesdays and Fridays from 6 o'clock till 8 p.m. if it's busy. If I come at 6 and there's no one, I'll leave and I'll resume whatever I'm doing and I'll come back some other time. But I should come here Wednesdays and Fridays between 6 and 8 p.m. UK time. And I don't want to linger much longer on that because I've got other things to do as well. So yeah, that's my plan for the next few months, and hopefully people will get used to that schedule and know when to find me. Maria Zolei 4.04. What does that mean? Is it the time where you are? Pumpkin Puff. I appreciate the advice you could give me, though. I feel better understanding I have the conditions, but I feel lost because I don't know how to work on it when I'm in the black and white mode. You cannot. So that's what I'm trying to say. When you're in the black and white mode, you can do nothing about it. Because in that moment, it's like you're being possessed by a version of you that needs to destroy everything to feel safe. So abandon that idea. And also let go of the shame. After that, you may think, oh, why? What's wrong with me? Why can't I change? Don't do this. Tell yourself, it happened again. It's okay. Talk to your inner child. I'm sorry that you feel like that. We're going to work together. We're going to make this happen. We're going to try to learn something out of that situation. But accept that there are things that we can't deal any other way for now. Right? For now, that's who you are. For now, that's your system. For now, that's your baggage. And until you have worked long enough for it to change it, this will be it. And it will happen again. So that is an incentive for you to keep persevering, learning what to do in order to change your belief, in order to change your emotional triggers, blocks, filters, and all those things that are creating all of those cascade of emotional chemicals in your body that gets you to feel like that and to then next think about those things in a black and white way. Accept that when you're in those situations, you're done. And so, do your best not to be in those situations. You will still get there, but at least try to minimize your exposure to stress, remember. Minimize your exposure to toxic people. Minimize your exposure to toxic workplace. You can organize your life and decide, you know what, that place is not good for me. I'm going to come up with a strategy, and over time, I want to move somewhere else, do something else, work with different people. You can do this. Lifestyle, environment, and number 3 is what we're talking about. Change how you think, what you believe, how you feel, all of those things, all of your habits of thoughts, emotions, and behavior. JT Valentine, and remember to stay hydrated. Yes, very good. my hydration manager. You know what? I'm going to listen to you. Coffee. So it's not water. I've got bottles of water everywhere, but this is still some fluid. So I'm going to have a sip now. And for those who don't know, that's because of my ADHD, I do forget about drinking water, like every day. I forget about it, but because I have gout, I need to drink water. So what happens is that every night, before I go to bed, I think, I forgot to drink water. So now I have to drink 2 big bottles, and all night long, I'm going to wake up and go to the loo. And it's still something that I'm working on. Sometime I remember, but at the moment, I go through different phases. And I'm very excited about a lot of projects that I have. And so that takes a lot of my brain space. And I do forget some basic things like that still. Every now and then it happens. And so there you go. A little insight into my life. Alienware. I have a question. Being misunderstood, ruining my reputation, helping me out. Okay, so tell me what it is. Tell me the situation if you want me to help you more specifically. At a general level, just based on what you've said, I would say this. If you are misunderstood and you're worried about your reputation, I'd say learn how not to worry about your reputation. Learn how to do what you should be doing from a place of authenticity, so that eventually the naysayers, the haters, they will always think bad things anyway, but you will know which ones are whom, and basically be yourself and say the right thing. Tell people this is not true, and then see what happens. We don't control anything. You don't control what people are thinking about you. You don't control how they're going to perceive you. What you can do, however, is to choose your behavior, choose what you're going to say. So just tell people, this is my truth, and then stick to just being you. But you don't need to be obsessed with that. If you are obsessed with trying to justify yourself, now it may actually make things worse. They may think, that person has a lot on their plate, they're trying to very overcompensate. And so just say it, and then the right people will get it, and the wrong one will not, and it's okay. Right? But now, this is just based on that sentence. What do you mean by this? Is there something that I need to know? What do you mean by, in which way have you had your reputation being tarnished by people? If you can tell me that would be helpful. But other than that, we want to realize that our reputation, we shouldn't worry about our reputation. Just live your life the way you should feel like you should live it, and the right people will follow. And the rest, they may hate, they may say things, and it's their problems. You don't need to justify or to defend. Just try to explain it once, and then that's it. Keep being yourself, and things stabilize and regulate themselves automatically over time. But if you are obsessed with trying to prove certain people who want you to be wrong anyway, then you will never win. You're just wasting your energy in the wrong place. Does it help? Alienware. JT Valentine, Alienware. If I dig it, it's because you speak even when you don't need to, and you don't think enough before you speak to make sure that what you're saying is right and clear. I don't really understand, but this is between you and Alienware, so you talk to each other. You know what? I still want to read it because I want to make sure people are not putting others down on my page. It's because you speak even when you don't need to, and you don't think enough before you speak. So I don't know if that's true, JT Valentine. We're all different. I don't think. Do you know that person personally, JT Valentine? If not, we can't really assume things. We tend to project things based on our own experience, but there's a lot of factors and parameters in other people's experience that we have no idea about. So I wouldn't be so hasty to assume any of those things. I know that you come from a good place, JT Valentine, but yes, I had to say this. JT, if I did it was an autocorrection, I didn't say that. Ah, so you have something going on between two of you. So I don't understand what it is. What I said earlier is just a guess from my experience. So maybe I missed something. I don't know. If it's important, it will come back. Reddit girl, thank you, Reddit girl. Reddit girl, I don't think I know how to do that. I don't dream along or make goals for myself. You don't know how to do what? Could you remind me, please? Oh, how to put yourself first, right? I'm going through the things. And you don't know how to love yourself. You can learn. You can learn how to do this. Try to remember the things that you enjoyed when you were a little girl and get started with that. Do things that make you happy. Do things that make you feel stimulated positively, that excite you, that make you feel good. Just like that. You don't need to have dreams or goals for yourself. You just want to feel good in this moment. It doesn't have to be a plan. So this is me and I want to have an empire or whatever. It's just you. Yeah, I'm going to go to the park today instead of, I'm going to have a little break. I'm going to sit down in the middle of the plants and the flowers and the trees and just smell the flowers. It is that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be structured. It's just about you doing things that make you feel good in this moment, right? Of course, without harming anyone, right? Because that'll be a whole different conversation. But I don't think that. Yeah, it's just me, because I speak to all sorts of people all day long. So this is not you. But yeah, do things that make you feel better. Slow down. Practice meditation and mindfulness, for instance. And then eventually you'll be reminded of doing more of those things, and that's how you reconnect with yourself. You're giving yourself those moments of joy and peace and selfishness. Learn how to be selfish. Everything is contextual. In your case, selfishness is something that you want to develop. And I'd say, in your case and at this point in time. Captain P5L. Hi, I'm new. How are you? I'm very well indeed. Welcome to my live. If you want to ask me anything, just do. JT Valentine, and then maybe you should. All the words are taken. Hey Cap, welcome aboard. Okay. JT Valentine, earlier you confused accepting and thinking. You probably don't fully remember by now, but still, accepting usually means moving on or not worrying about. Are you talking to me or to the other person? I'm confused now. Sorry. Maria Zolei, my willingness to heal and choose me to heal and take myself for self-love, my healing journey is the most powerful that unlock the truth of oneself. Okay, good on you. So those are the sort of things that Rendit girl, you could try to use. Positive affirmation. It doesn't work for everyone, but you know, everyone has got different ways to remind themselves of their worth. And that's one of the ways. J.T. Valentine, so accepting death means acknowledging and moving on. Ah, you're talking to me. Okay, now I'm trying to put the dots together. So accepting death means acknowledging and moving on, as opposed to those who don't accept it and try to avoid it the whole life. Yes, don't even think about it. Why think about something that is inevitable and that has got nothing to do with us? Death happens when it happens. Just focus on life. Because now I'm trying to understand what you mean. So let's go back to just one block. You confused accepting and thinking. If you accept something, you don't need to think about it. So there's no confusion here, right? It's really about realizing that some things are not worth our headspace or peace or time. I hope it makes sense. When you accept something, you are surrendering it. When you think about it, you are resisting it and holding it. This is precisely the premises of mindfulness. When you think about something, you are holding it. When you surrender, you let it go. There are three things we can do. And that's the video that I'm going to put on Friday. It's a system how to deal with everything. I want to realize that in the face of anything in life, we always have three choices. We can either do something to change it, try to do something, we can accept it, or we can suffer from it by thinking about it. So we don't want to think about it. We want to be reminded that we have an option. We can be mindful of doing, or we can be mindful of allowing. But we don't need to think about it. Now, there are thinking protocols that are different. When I say thinking, I mean worrying, rummaging, ruminating, that sort of thoughts. If you have a creative thinking mode, it's different. Now you're doing. It's an active way to manifest things. That starts here, but it's still doing. You're still creating. I hope we are back on the same wavelength, JT Valentine, about that conversation. Captain P5L, thank you. All the words are taken. Very kind of you, my friend. Bree Simon, can I ask a question? Yes, sure, please. Pac-Man, I really enjoy watching your videos, but plugs are nice. I don't understand. Are you cracking a joke? What sort of plugs are we talking about? I don't know. Maria Zolei, appreciate your time and share your experiences that we can learn. Thank you. Pablo, can you do a backflip? No. LXE, coffee dehydrates you, by the way. It's true, but it also hydrates me at the same time, in some capacity. So nothing is just this or that. It dehydrates you because once you drink it, you're going to wee more. But until I do so, I have put some fluid in my body. So in that moment, I am hydrating my body. Hydration. When I go to the loo, dehydration. So it's a matter of when. Everything is so textual. It's a very good example to highlight the fact that everything is relative, and we should never try to universalize anything. Everything is about context. So yeah, but I understand what you mean. All the words are taken. Bree, throw your question out there. All are welcome. Yes, thank you. All the words are taken. Bree Simon, if someone has abused you emotionally and physically, but say they have changed and will never do it again, is it possible for someone like that to change, or am I a fool? Thank you for your time. It depends. It is possible, and it may be not true. We don't know. Some people lie, want to get you back so they can hurt you again. Some people are sincere. Some people are sincere because they believe that they have changed, but they have not changed yet, so they will still hurt you. They believe, they think that they have changed, but they still have the same emotional habits that will get them to hurt you. So it's not this or that. We don't know. It depends. And so my advice to you is to listen to your intuition and take it one moment at a time, and listen to your intuition each moment. You get an idea. What does it tell you? Do you want to give that person a chance? Your intuition might say, yes, give that person a chance. But then the next moment, do it again. Because now you open your door. Maybe that person is going to do something, say something, something about their facial expression, their voice is going to trigger an alarm. And now your intuition might tell you, hold on, maybe let's not open that door too wide just yet. And so listen to intuition, take it one moment at a time and see what happens. And if things go bad, you can always move away. Or maybe if you don't feel like it, you don't feel like it. If your body is on high alert and there's an alarm ringing whenever you start that person, don't do it. Even if your head tells you, I should be compassionate, I should be kind, I should give them a chance. If your heart, if your body doesn't feel like it, listen to your body. So that's my advice. Listen to your body, listen to your feelings, emotions, and intuition. And take it one moment at a time. And see what happens. But it's true that very often when we have a sort of relationship with people, we have this relationship because we have allowed that thing to happen. Because this is how we see ourselves. Because this is the narrative that we have of ourselves. So we don't do this consciously. We don't choose that. But we're all the result of our upbringing, or childhood, or past trauma. And so if you have been, for instance, suffering from some sort of abuse in childhood, now there's a part of you that's going to believe, this is who I am, this is what I deserve, this is what is normal to me. And so because of that, now we're going to allow people to keep repeating the same narrative we had in the past in our adult present life. We don't realize this, it's all subconscious, but we're attracted to what feels familiar. And so if love comes with pain, condition, manipulation, hurt, and deceit, then that's the sort of love that we are going to seek and allow and invite in our lives. And so if you haven't changed that, that may actually bring some thoughts in your mind that makes you believe, that person has changed, I must give them a chance. You're going to experience some sort of cognitive distortion, some cognitive dissonance, because there's a discrepancy between what you think and how you feel. Your body wants to feel the same, and so your head is going to create harmony to make this happen, and you may actually see, maybe that person has really changed, and maybe they haven't. And so it's going to distort your interpretation of what you perceive about that person. So it's all of things to take into consideration. Right? It's never just this or that. The more you understand yourself, the more you can zoom out and see the bigger picture of everything about your past and your life and your interactions with people, then the more you can know what is the best thing to do in that moment. One action and one moment at a time. Does that help, Brie? Pumpkin Puff. So my inner child is the reason for my BPD outburst, to try to feel safe. Yes. Even if I am safe, my brain is telling me that is what I should do. Yes. Safety is a perception. So safe, it means nothing if you don't feel safe. Right? And so the idea of feeling safe is based on our interpretation of reality, what our senses are telling us. And so if your subconscious mind feels that you're not safe, as far as your nervous system is concerned, you're not safe. And it's going to react in a way to protect you because you're not safe by doing all those things that you've done up to this point. If you say, I am safe, you're coming from a place of reasoning. You can see, I'm safe, obviously. There's no zombies trying to come at me and eat my brain, for instance. I'm safe. There's no Armageddon, there's no rapture, or any of those things. I'm absolutely safe. But if you don't feel safe, your nervous system is going to believe that you're not safe, and that will be your reality, and why you turn into that monster that takes over. It's like you being possessed for one moment, because there's a part of you that wants to protect you from the danger. All the words are taken. Gonna go nap. Thank you, chat, and thank you, Didi. Have a beautiful AM, PM all. Thank you so much. And see you next. All the words are taken. Pumpkin Puff. That seems awfully sad that the little child in my head decided that it was the only way to act to feel safe. It's not sad. It's because you are judging it from your perspective. We do whatever that we have to do. So I agree with you. It is sad that we have to go through difficult childhood. This is what is sad. It's sad that when we look at ourselves, and I do this with myself as well. Sometimes I'm thinking about things that happened to me and I forgot about it because I don't think about those things all the time. And I'm feeling sad. Gosh, it's happened to me. It was so sad. It was so unfair. I can see myself like a little boy, and I'm feeling protective, and I'm feeling so sad for that little boy. But then what we can do is to realize, now I don't need to feel sad anymore. I can be the adult and I can reassure that little boy, or that little girl, or that little child, whichever you see yourself. You want to tell yourself, I can be the one protecting that child now. I can teach them. I can make them feel safe. So now we're replacing the sadness with, don't worry about it. I get this. We're going to do this together. We're going to F all the bad people. I'm going to make sure that you stay safe. I'm going to make sure that you're happy. And we're going to succeed together because you matter to me, because we're the same person, because now I have access to resources, intelligence that I didn't have when I was a child. Your emotional mind, your child's mind is your emotional mind. When you can come back from a place of emotion to a place of mental clarity, as in rational intelligence, now you are back into your adult mind. That adult mind can talk to your emotional mind and tell it, you're good now. I understand how you feel like that. I'm so sorry that you feel like that. And I'm going to hug you and give you all the love that you need until you feel better. And when you feel better, I'm going to teach you how you are safe now. Because I'm here now. I'm in charge. I'm the adult. So this is what healing is about. Shannon, would you like to get married? I am married. What makes you think that I'm not married? Because I don't have a ring. Forever. I don't believe in forever. There's no such thing as forever. This is a very important concept to really get our head around. The whole point of life is to experience our life. And so, in this universe, in this reality, nothing lasts forever. Forever is an illusion. It's a fantasy that people have created to give them an illusion of control. But we don't want forever. We want to do our best to enjoy each moment, whatever the moment brings us, all throughout our life. Nothing lasts forever. And so I'm married. I'm very happily married. Forever doesn't even compute in my understanding of reality anymore. I'm happy, and I know that whatever happens is always going to be the best thing, the best decision in the moment as we go through. So that may look like forever as far as our human lives are concerned. But I don't aim, I don't look for forever. I don't care about forever. Forever comes from a place of fear. I must be in control. I must know for sure. I must have certainty about things. Otherwise, I don't feel safe. Now, I used to be like that, but now I feel super safe. I trust the universe to support me and everyone, and because of that, I don't need forever. I know that whatever life throws at me, I'm okay. I'm supported, and I know how to deal with those things one at a time. And this is life, right? Did I miss something? Did you mean to say something else, Shannon? Ranted girl, right. I didn't even realize any of this. Okay, I thought I did. I don't remember much about my childhood and what I wanted. Okay. Kush Master, do you know Mandy Pinea? No, I don't. Who is Mandy Pinea? Ranted girl, I think I love myself. I even like myself. Okay, fantastic. So, this is the truth. You know, what you want to do is to remember that you already love yourself. We're all born self-loving. All babies love themselves. It's only when we grow up that we get infected by the fear and the hatred and the shame of the adult. And then we spend our life remembering that love was always there. It's our default mode, and we can reaccess it by remembering about all the good things that makes us happy, that makes us proud of ourselves. Right? Try this. Play things. Remember all the good things, the happy things that you had. The success, the achievements that you have created. And then you will be reminded, I'm amazing. I love this about myself. I love that thing. I love doing that thing. But also, I love me for being able to do those things. Remember about the things that you've done maybe to help others. Also, if that's the thing that you're into. And so that reminds you, I'm a good person. There's a lot of things that I can love about myself. Pumpkin Puff. I always assumed that the monster in me was the version of me that was the part that was protecting the child in me, not my child version taking control. Okay. It is the same. Yeah, we try. It's a different way to visualize it. The monster that you become is a part of you. It can be. You can create a monster if you. It's easier for you to visualize it. But really, you want to let go of the idea of monster. It's more a part of you that wants to protect you, and that ends up coming across as a monster to society, right? Because there's no monster inside of you. There's only part of you that are different, and they all exist for different reasons. They all have different strength, a different function, a different purpose in your life, and they're all there to protect you. So there was never any monster, as far as you are concerned. Society calls us monster when we behave in certain ways that is frowned upon by the rules of society. But if you can see yourself through the lenses of compassion and understanding, You realize I did that because of X, Y, Z. Everything I did was out of survival. I never chosen to be hurt. I've never chosen that upbringing. I never chosen my parents, my education, my bullies, my culture, my trauma. I never chosen any of those. And so I had to come up with something because there was no one else to protect me then. And so practice self-compassion. There's no monster in you. There's only versions of you with different qualities that are all there to try in their own way to love and protect you. Thank you for the little heart. JT Valentine, why do you think humans struggle with power? How to control who has it, etc.? Or if not, then why? People need power out of fear. Because they believe that the world, so it's a matter of belief. Some people believe that the world is the dog-eat-dog world. Survival of the strongest. They're thinking sharks, wolves, bad things. So I need to be either one of two things. I can be a predator or a prey. So they want to have power because they believe that being powerful is the only way for them to be safe. If you are balanced, happy, you have some beliefs that are to do with well-being, you don't need power. Power is only there. I saw a very beautiful quote. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, power is born from fear, and we use it to control. We don't need power. I forgot. I came across a beautiful quote like just yesterday, but anyway, power is born from insecurity. That's the belief that there's not enough good things. There's not enough good things in the world for all to share. So I need to have power to have more of those things that are scarce and limited. If we realize that there's more than enough for everyone to share, then we don't need power. We can share, we can take it easy, we can enjoy together all those things instead of holding it and needing to have more. It's insecurity. It's like people are trying to be famous, to have a high status, to be very successful, to be the high achievers and all those things. It all comes from a place of insecurity. Insecurity is born from fear, the fear of not being enough. I must do that, I must prove myself, I must have people to praise me and be proud of me, I must seek external validation, because otherwise I believe that I'm not enough. I'm not going to be seen, I'm not going to be accepted, and I may end up being rejected by my tribe, and I won't make it. So it's always down to fear and feeling safe in a group of people. So yeah, power comes from people who are terrified of not having any illusion of control, because we never really control anything. So yes, that's why some people struggle with power. JT Valentine, and how do you think humans deal with a lack of control / power, and how could they do it better? By surrendering, by accepting that we don't need power. We need to realize that in a society, we are pack animals, and in a society we all have different strengths, and together we create something that works for everyone by injecting each of us individually whatever we can add to the mix. So there's no need for power. I can't think of, everything is contextual, and so if you are dealing with people who are trying to invade your country, you want to have some backup to be able to fight back, because some people will do that. But that's why there's such thing as political agreements, countries that get together so that they can look after each other. Safety in numbers. And so that's a bigger version of society, but involving more countries. And this is what we want to aim at some point. The dream is to get to a point where the whole planet is all working together as one big society. So there's not us versus the others. There's only us. And us working together to make sure that everyone is happy. Mark G, I love what you do on your channel. You have given me so much to think. Fantastic. Thank you, Mark. So much to think about and have put some issues into perspective. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts and insight. Thank you so much, Mark G. Pablo Marco, what is RTT? RTT is the system that I use with my clients in my practice to address any of their mental and emotional problems. And so I specialize in anxiety, depression, addiction, anger, self-sabotage, trauma, and stress, any of those things. I've been there myself, so I come from a place of knowledge and understanding and compassion. And basically, RTT is a kind of hypnotherapy on steroid. It was invented by Marisa Peer, and what we do, we understand that all the problems that we have in our life today were originally created as a system to protect ourselves from whatever happened to us in childhood. But because we didn't upgrade that system, it has gone out of control, and now it has developed into those things that are creating problems for us. Overthinking, low self-esteem, procrastination, anxiety, whatever that we suffer from originally comes from belief that we have chosen to hold on to because they protected us. And so with the RTT, what we do, we explore those beliefs from the subconscious mind, we upgrade the emotional energy associated to it, so that we no longer need to believe that those episodes from our past must dictate our present and how we feel and what we think all the time now as an adult. So we're changing basically our personality. We're changing some aspects of our personality because we can't go back into the past. And so when we address the memories of the past through the process of hypnosis, we're addressing how we see ourselves based on how we remember our past and how it has affected our nervous system. And so by changing this, we're changing how we feel right here, right now in the present moment. This is the beautiful thing about those systems. We can address anything now because there's only now. And so this is what I do. RTT is one of the tools, is the main tool that I use to unblock some subconscious blocks, some subconscious triggers that keeps us reacting in ways that are problematic in our lives. So anxiety, depression, all of those things. So there you go. If you have any questions about it, do ask. If you'd like to know more about this, there's a link on my bio to my website. So we can organize a discovery call sometime, if that's what you want. Charity Valentine, I have been studying wisdom a lot recently. And is there any niche, particular part of it that you think we wouldn't know, most unique? I know this is very broad, but that's the whole point you pick. So wisdom is precisely the opposite of that. Wisdom is not believing that there's something, there's a gem, there's something precious, something special, there's one secret information that I must find out. Wisdom is you going through that journey and realizing that your wisdom will be developing all of your life based on everything that you go through. It's about upgrading your mindset and your heart set, but it's not about one nugget of information. So there's no thing that you want to explore necessarily. You just want to expand your mind in the direction that feels natural and comfortable to you. So the place that I come from would be Eastern philosophies. Anything to do with Taoism and Buddhism, for me, they're a very good place to explore as far as wisdom is concerned. But maybe it's not necessarily your path, or not your path at this point in time. For some people, they may want to read up and explore some philosophies, some schools of thought that are totally different, because they need to go through this whole thing to end up there at some point, right? So that they know what they prefer and what they dislike, and it's only through you walking the path that you will be able to develop that. And it's only relevant to you. So there's no secret magic nugget of wisdom. There's only the attitude that you have. You want to be patient, you want to be humble, you want to be open-minded, and you want to appreciate that as long as you have that mindset, your whole life will be a journey of becoming more and more wise, and there's no limit to that. Does this help, JT Valentine? Benjamin Kibble. I tend to get frustrated easily when I'm around my family. I have to babysit my brother and sister 6 days a week, every day. I get annoyed when my mother asks, but of course I help because this is my job. Okay. Bree Simon, thank you. Thank you, Bree. Benjamin, I'm struggling with being grateful for my opportunity to spend time with my family. I focus on the bad, how I am stuck, how I could be doing other things instead of enjoying being an older brother. So, but because maybe you don't want to do this. There's a part of you who just wants to chill, who wants to explore the world, who wants to do your things. And because you're the older brother, you've been told you have to. And this is why you hate it. It's normal, right? And so sometimes we have to do what we have to do. If you can do this, and if you know that you make a difference in your family, tell yourself, I'm doing this for now, and there'll be a time where I can spend more time doing my things. But you can also do it now. You can find ways to, just like I was talking about to Rented Girl, you want to explore the things that you can do for yourself. And you want to start to implement, okay, today I'm going to do this and that for them, but I'm also going to do this for me. You can. You have 24 hours in a day, a lot of moments you can learn how to do things to enjoy yourself. It doesn't have to be all this or all that. But if your dreams are about traveling the world and moving away from the family, then you have to make a choice. And you can choose either, I want to do this because I want to be a good son, I would feel terrible if I didn't do it, or F them, I'm going to live my life. It's time to do my thing now. There's no right or wrong. It's only you, between you and yourself and how you feel. But something that can make your life easier is that if you choose the first option, you may tell yourself, I'm doing this for now, I can still enjoy myself, and it's only temporary, and at some point I'm going to be able to move on and up to the next chapter of my life, and then fully embrace everything that I want to do. There's that panther, I keep on forgetting the name. What's her name? American. I forgot the name. I need to remember. There's an old, very famous painter called Mama something. And she was hugely famous, but she only started to paint at a very late, I think in her 70s or 80s, because she had to look after her, I don't know, 5, 7, 10 kids and look after home, so she couldn't do it. But eventually she was a grandma and she decided to rekindle with her passion. And she still had a fantastic career, even though she was in her 80s. She lived up to the age of 100 something. So I'm not saying wait until you're in your 80s, but what I'm saying is that sometimes we need to prioritize based on whatever feels right for us. But nothing is ever the end for sure. Your life is ongoing and everything is possible. So I'd say just do whatever feels right for you and do your best to create some moments for yourself. But also in the knowing that things will change at some point, and then you will be able to embrace new chapters in your life. Your life is made of chapters. So yeah. Does it help, Benjamin? But in the meantime, you have to find ways to feel better about yourself. Otherwise, you're going to grow resentment towards them, and this is not going to help anyone. JT Valentine, and by the way, earlier with the things earlier about the miscommunication advice, I was using a voice-to-text mechanism, so I didn't have to type, and the irony is that is miscommunicating what I was saying. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Ah, bloody robot. Okay, I get it. Brie Simon, my intuition says he's dangerous and doesn't really respect me. He just keeps telling me I'm the only one for him. Okay, listen to intuition. Your intuition is always correct in the moment. Right? So the next moment you may have some new information, but in the moment, whatever your intuition tells you is right. Your intuition is your direct dial to the universal wisdom. It always knows exactly, precisely what you need to know in this moment. Listen to your intuition. Trust it. Follow it. JT Valentine, so I'm not going to use it anymore, so that doesn't happen again. Okay, fair enough. Brie Simon, I appreciate you greatly, and I will most certainly listen to my body and intuition. Fantastic. JT Valentine, can you ask me a question because I want to see what you come up with. Me? How are you doing, JT? I don't know, do you like robots? Monica can. I always obsess about my partner and try to spend as much time as possible, but they told me it's suffocating for them. How can I learn to stay alone, and when will it stop hurting for missing them? You don't have to do this. Maybe that person is not right for you. Maybe you need to be with someone who sees you and he gives you all the time and the love that you need. You don't have to do anything to change yourself. When it comes to relationship, what you want to do really is to meet in between. You want to find someone with whom you can change together. It's not about that person changing for you 100% or you changing for them 100%. It's about the two of you considering each other's feelings and wanting to go on an adventure together to heal and grow and discover who you are together. So it's got to be in the middle, right? I hope it makes sense. Sit down and talk to them and learn how to maybe understand more about yourself and why you feel like that. But bear in mind, really, what I just said, which is to remind yourself that relationships are about two people. I mean, traditionally, some people are polyamorous, but in that context, two people, so it's 50-50 as far as math is concerned. And so it takes two to tango. Do something together in a way that you are both satisfied with. Create system, communicate, but don't believe that you must change for that person and they have got nothing to do. JT Valentine, and I think generalizations are the root of most miscommunication. Yes. Joaquin Oliver, I need to quit smoking crack. I struggled with it when I was homeless, but now I have a room in a nice house and a good job. I can't seem to stop doing it every weekend. You need some professional help, right? I could help you with that, or other people like me who specialize in addiction, but you must find professional help. It's absolutely possible. But crack is it's a hardcore one, so you need to basically work with someone who is going to address the reasons as to why you need an addiction in the first place, and also dealing with the addiction itself. So that's two things you want to address. So yeah, I'm coming to the end of the live now because it's nearly 8 o'clock and I don't want to go past 8 o'clock too late. Joaquin, I would love to talk to you about addiction in much depth next time, if you don't mind. If you don't follow me on YouTube and you want to chat with me, do subscribe on my channel and I will come back Friday. I'm here every Wednesdays and every Fridays on YouTube from 6 o'clock p.m. UK time. So I would love to help you and talk to you about this. I used to be an addict. I was addicted to class A drugs as well, and alcohol and a lot of other things up to the age of 38. So I can really help you with that. But I need you to come back because it's a big topic. I don't want to give you some hack. It doesn't work like that. It will not work. So if you want to chat with me, subscribe and come back to me either Friday or next Wednesday, and we can absolutely start to talk about it from 6 p.m. That would be fantastic if we can do that, please. Joaquin, I'm trying to get my PS5 back from the crack plug. I give it to him for $100 of it. I hope I can buy it back tonight. Pumpkin Puff, interesting. I didn't think about rational mind being the adult versus emotional mind being the child. Yes, these are the sort of things that most people don't know, and this is what I'm about. I'm here to teach you those things. Gabriel, do you think the universe throws things at you that you can handle? What does it feel like sometimes you can't handle them? I'm going to read quickly all the questions, but I've got to go now because I've got something else to do. And so I apologize. I won't be able to address all of your things that you want to talk about, but I will next time. Please do come back, do follow me, and let's carry on with those conversations. JT Valentine, what do you think about how subconscious biases can destroy someone's view or what's really in front of them? Next time, please. Gabriel, that's such a good question, JT Valentine. Yes, Pumpkin Puff. Thank you, Didi. I've carried a lot of shame from feeling like the monster, so hearing that I'm not was nice. I'm happy with this. Thank you. JT Valentine, thank you. Why do you think that some people can't accept truth and even going to the length of going against their own belief to prove it wrong? Next time. It's a great conversation, and I would love to talk about it, but next time. Ego battles instead of opportunities to improve. How do you think we can avoid that and help others to see that as well next time? Josh Fire, hi Didi, how are you? Question, do you think it's bad to want to talk to people you find attractive after a breakup, not in an expectation or replacement way, just as a companionship kind of way? Next time, please. Jetty Valentine, you can find anything. Is you search hard enough? Because it was all in your mind to begin with, is a quote I made that I think summarizes most problems mentally. What I'm about to say is a response to what you said a while ago. I used the voice to text mechanism again, so there might be a couple of things off. Okay, I understand that wisdom is finding meaning from nothing and filtering experiences and knowledge to get a meaningful answer, even with as little knowledge as possible, and I understand that, but I'm not asking for the definition of wisdom. I'm asking for something you will have learned throughout your life that you believe has meaning or purpose. I'll talk about it next time, J.T. Valentine, because I also believe that you can apply wisdom to anywhere in life. I believe that pieces of really good advice can be seen as wisdom, because wisdom is also subjective and relative as it's everything. Yes, I agree. Sahil Sharma, what is RTT? I'll talk about it more next time. If you want to play this video again, I talked about it already. So all my live streams stay on my bio to be replayed. So if you really have interest, play it again if you have the time for this. And at some point, I talk about RTT in that very live today. Victoria, thank you. Hello, Victoria. JT Valentine, no, please read my questions before you leave. Please, 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 no. I've got to go. Sorry. Everybody, look how much I've said. He's not answering. I'm so sad. I'm so sorry, but I've got to go. I'm doing my best. I'm giving my free time to help people. So please appreciate this, and appreciate that I have other things to do. And I would love to have this conversation with you, but I need you to do it in a way that works for the two of us. Okay. JT Valentine, I mean, I get it, but it's so sad. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. JT, can you please answer this next time? Because I will forget. You have to remind me because I will forget as well. I'm sorry. So write it down and ask me again next time. I talk to people every day. I think about millions of things every day. I will not remember any, but I want to. And I'm sure that I will remember then as soon as you remind me, and we can talk about all those things. Okay. Josh Fire, thank you, Didi. Next time. Yes, thank you, Josh. Benjamin, you're doing amazing, Didi. They don't realize you have work. Thank you so much. Yes, I have a life, I have work. So please, thank you. I understand, but yeah, I'm only a human being as well. Benjamin, thank you, brother. Thank you. You are amazing. I will return your lives every week. Fantastic. Gabriel, thank you, Didi, for your awesome advice. Thank you so much, guys. I love you all. Thank you for watching. I will come back Friday and every Wednesdays and Friday again from 6 p.m. UK time for the time being. So if you enjoy this, subscribe, ask me questions, come back, write it down, get people that you believe could do with my help to come to a live, and look after yourself. Remember to be kind to yourself. That's it for now. JT Valentine, end of stream. Yes.